serving spiritual seekers around the world. Unity Online Radio.
Welcome to Design Your Life with Reverend Kevin Ross and friends. Join us for the next paradigm-shifting hour as we explore distinctions for becoming a person of purpose, power, passion, peace, and prosperity. Call in with your questions and comments for real-time coaching and conversation committed to inspiring and empowering you to design and live the life of your dreams. And now, it's your turn to start living the designer life with your host, the Reverend Kevin Kitrell Ross.
Welcome to Design Your Life with Kevin Ross and friends, where we gather every Wednesday with the intention to inspire and empower you to design and live the life of your dreams. I'm your host, the Reverend Kevin Ross. My friends call me Rev Kevin, so can you. I'm on a mission to awaken each person to live a life of purpose, passion, peace, and prosperity. And I do that in a number of ways, certainly through this broadcast. And also each week, we live stream our services from Unity of Sacramento in Sacramento, California. You can check us out at unityofsacramento.com. You can certainly be a part of anything that we have going on during this season. As you know, we're anticipating Easter, so jump on board and be with us at one of our two services this weekend, one at 9:15 a.m., the meditation service, and then at 10 o'clock a.m., one huge Easter celebration. Visit unityofsacramento.com to get the details or to live stream with us. Oh, I'm so excited about this week. This has been a huge week. I want to thank everybody, literally hundreds of you who took the time to wish me a happy Earth Day, birthday. I am celebrating 38 rotations around the sun, and it has been glorious. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the surprise parties. Thank you for the post on Facebook and the emails and just loving me real juicy. I love you right back. You're the best. You're the best. Thanks so much, everybody. It was wonderful. And especially want to send a shout out to my lovely wife who orchestrated the party of parties. I think surprising me is not an easy thing to do when you're around people all the time, but she was able to pull it off. So thanks, honey. I appreciate it, and I hope you're listening somewhere to hear the love. Okay, friends, just a reminder that we have our cruise coming up this November, and I want to make sure that you go and check out the page. November 10th through the 17th, we are cruising the Caribbean, Turks and Caicos, San Juan, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, Half Moon Cay, Bahamas. I will be there. You will be there. And your favorite Unity Online Radio hosts from throughout the country will be joining us there. So if you're looking to connect with other like-minded people in a paradise of an environment and also get some inspiration while you're at it, join us for the cruise. Do this by calling 1-800-828-4813, 1-800-828-4813, and make sure to reserve your spot right away. We want to have your face in the place. If you are planning to join us, make sure to mention that Kevin Ross sent you or that you heard about the cruise from Design Your Life so that you can be included in our party. I'm looking forward to you. One of the things I'm going to be doing on the cruise is having some one-on-one time with you. That's one of the things I don't get to do frequently, obviously because of we're all spread apart in 122 countries around the world. So this will be a great time for us to get up close and personal and get to know each other a whole lot better. 1-800-828-4813. Reserve your spot today. Tell them I sent you. Looking forward to it. Today is going to be a wonderful program. We are in for a treat. Turn your speakers up. Get on Facebook and post it on your page. Tell them that Kevin Ross is on the air with the Breakthrough Specialist, who is a best-selling author of many books, and she is also my 3 a.m. friend. I love her so much because every time we reconnect, I learn so much from her. So we're going to go to school today, you guys, with my dear friend, the author of the best-selling book, No Matter What. Let's welcome breakthrough specialist Lisa Nichols to our program. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, my friend, my brother. I'm excited to be here with you and the Unity community. I feel like, it's a welcome home. So thank you so much for having me.
Welcome back. So we were talking a minute ago. You have been all over the place. Tell us, you've been on our program before, a couple times before. Tell us what you've been up to lately. I'm excited to hear.
Oh, my gosh. Well, at the beginning and end of the day, God's work, and just being in service. And I'm always in awe with how I get to serve. We are now officially into the second quarter of the year. So the first 90 days of this year, I literally have been traveling 72 of those days, touching thousands and thousands of people, 33 speaking events to be exact, and all over, So in the last 14 days alone, I've been to 4 countries, and I did 16 events. And one of those spots was St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. So when you said that for the cruise, I said, oh, my gosh, I hope that everyone jumps on board and goes to the cruise. The Caribbeans are so healing. It's such a place. I always say, when God kissed the earth, the Caribbeans were created. And so
I love that.
It's this beautiful, magnificent span of possibility to show you how huge our universe is and how beautiful we get to, the beauty that we get to inhale. So one of the places has been in St. Thomas, and I've really been working on a few different levels. This is a season where, we're building our no matter what mindset. And so what's wild is that I'm now, without any marketing, I'm now invited into aerospace engineering firms to speak to over 400 employees about possibility. I'm going into nationally recognized insurance firms such as State Farm and asking to sprinkle possibility on their vice presidents. And when I tell you we're in a mind shift, mind change, we're in that place where everyone wants to know hope and possibility and creation. The rigidity of formality is melting away, Kevin, and we're now in the place of sheer possibility. What does the universe have in store for me, for you, for us? And so I can't get up early enough and stay up late enough to literally handle and manage the demand that's on this conversation. And so I'm super, super, super excited. It's a universal conversation. One of the things I'm really excited about is we just took our live trainings and we made a couple of very key ones, which I'll invite the Unity community to take part in later. But we just put my key live training, we put it on a webinar because what I found, Kevin, was when I took like a month and went through all of my emails to see where they're coming from. They're coming from Bulgaria, Ukraine, Yugoslavia. They're coming from Romania. They're coming from Argentina. People all over the world, as you know, because you have over 120 countries connected with you, are saying, I'm ready to grow. And so I love live training. I love belly-to-belly, heart-to-heart. And so that's what I focused on. And I realized that my global community needed better access to me. So this season is my season to really touch my global community on every level the way I can, maintain my own sanity, lifestyle, and as a single mom, but to be able to touch the community called humanity. And so I'm just excited because I finally really delved into the video blogs and delved into the webinars and we tapped on them before, but I would live inside of live training. And so I'm just excited because I feel like I'm being in even more full service to the God in me.
Yeah. What is it like to constantly shatter your own own successes? When you hit you raise the roof and then you break through that roof and you raise it again. Right. What is that like?
You heard me giggle because, on some days it's woohoo, on other days it's oh my God. I just got to tell you, I painted a picture of what I wanted my life to look like. And what I didn't know was the picture that I painted as my 100% picture, that was just the appetizer of what God really had for me. So I'm going to be honest with you, as I always am. On some days, I'm like, let's go for it. And other days, I'm like, God, are you sure? Really? Remember, I'm a little girl from South Central Los Angeles, God. I'm the one who, I start going into my old story, and I have to ask God and my friends and my community to release me of that because, there's your plan and then there's the universe's plan for your life. And there's no way I would have thought this. So on some days, Kevin, I greet it head on, with my running shoes on and 2 seatbelts. And on other days, on other days, I have to climb the ladder to be as tall as God's saying I am. I'm like, okay, God, I agree, but let me climb that ladder a little bit because today I'm not feeling that way.
Wow,
and so
great.
it's a blend. And what I've committed to do is to keep people in my inner circle to remind me of the woman I get to be every day, to remind me of my divine assignment. When the single mom kicks in, I just want to be home with my son. Or when the single woman kicks in, I just want to date. Or when the daughter kicks in, I just want to cuddle up under my dad or my mom. I get to do all of that, and I get to be a change agent in the world. And so I just constantly keep myself reminded of that. Some days it's wonderful, and other days, I climb my ladder to be tall enough for the assignment.
Yeah, that's hot. Someone's listening right now. In fact, I'm reminded of a conversation I had yesterday with an individual who has it going on. I mean, they really have it going on, and is saving up for a rainy day. Is afraid that, oh my God, this must be a fantasy. It's too good to be true. I'm going to lose it all. What do you say to someone who has it all and yet can't fully appreciate it or is living in fear, even though he or she has it all?
Well, can I just say this? I said this when I was on Oprah, and because you were there, that your life is like walking into a restaurant and placing an order. When you place an order, expect for that order to come to pass. When you're in a restaurant, you order chicken and mashed potatoes and broccoli, you don't expect steak and asparagus and green salad to come. You're going to get exactly what you ordered. So to my dear friends who are in the conversation, this is too good to be true, unfortunately, you're going to be right unless you change your expectations. So when you say it's too good to be true, then it becomes too good to be true. When you say this is going to end badly, then you're right, it's going to end badly. So expect. I know sometimes it's so hard to understand that God will have this much love for you, that he would do this in spite of who you've been in the past. That's me. Sometimes I go, God, in spite of who I've been, I get to have this life. And the answer is always yes, yes. I always say yes is so nice, you got to say it twice. The answer is always yes, yes. And so even though, I say ask a better question to get a better answer. So instead of saying, is this really my life, or can I have this, ask a better question. Say, what can I do to feel worthy of this? How can I stand on my ladder to embrace this? Ask a more empowering question to get a more empowering answer and result. See, we get disempowering results because we ask disempowering questions. When is this going to end? When is this great lifestyle going to end? Oh, okay, let me give you that answer. You don't want that answer. You want the answer to how long can I maintain this amazing journey? How long can I sustain this? What do I need to do to make this my forever plan? And so I say to the person I'm speaking to, I understand that, and I want to invite you. When you change your mental zip code, everything else in your life has to change zip code as well. But if you keep a deprivation, scarcity, lack mental zip code, then your finances have to go there, your lifestyle has to go there, your physicality and your relationships have to go there, because wherever your mind takes up residence, that's where the rest of your life will live.
Wow. That is awesome. I hope that serves someone listening. I know it definitely spoke to my heart, and I'm sure it speaks to all of us today. Let's just a little bit about this one thing that frequently comes up, particularly with our Unity people. I want to get particular to Unity audiences, the Unity audience who might be listening. There is what I've been observing as a disconnect between theory, practice, and manifestation. A lot of people that I've encountered within Unity, and even some leaders, and I say this respectfully with great love to all of them, with no judgment, but some have the theory, some have the practice, or the theory plus the practice, but some struggle with manifesting. I mean, when there's this ability that we can talk about prosperity and abundance and having it and whatever, and enjoying life. But I've encountered quite a number who don't demonstrate. And as you know, I come from a school where I was exposed to people like Johnny Coleman and other incredible people who totally got it and manifested at a high level. And I always want to put some of that in a cup and give it to folks so they can drink it, because I know what that feels like in my bones. What can we say to someone who's got the theory and is in the struggle of bringing it home?
Well, Kevin, when you ask me, I shoot right from the hip, right?
Right from the hip, yeah.
I love every sister and brother listening, and I will say, the growth in your life or the stagnation in your life is in a direct connection with the action you are taking in your life. That so many times when we're inside of this conversation of higher consciousness, we make higher consciousness something so ambiguous we can't quite touch it or feel it. It's a thought, theory, meditation thing. And while, yes, it's all of that, meditation, theory plus action equals results, plus action equals results. The antidote for despair, Joan Bayer says, is action. Lisa Nichols says the prescription for success is the exact same thing. It's action. I guarantee you, all over the world, all ages, when people come to me, I do personal coaching. I do business development coaching. Every level of coaching that I do, on every level, promise you, when one of my students are in a place of stuck in stagnation, I go back to their action steps. What's your bold, audacious goals for this quarter? Not this year, Kevin, but this quarter. Now, for every bold, audacious goal you have, you need to have 3 major milestones of achievement that get you to that goal. For each of your major milestone you need to have at least 3 to 5 action steps that will get you to the milestone. So 3 to 5 action steps get you to the milestone. 3 major milestones get you to the goal. Most people just have a goal with no plan. And I promise you, the stagnation is in the lack of planning and having a plan. You need to have a plan, because when you have a plan, all you need to do is work the plan. When you don't have a plan, you have to keep making it up.
All right, you're hearing from Lisa Nichols, who is on a roll here. Good people, stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're going to talk some more with my guest, breakthrough specialist and the author of the best-selling book, No Matter What, Lisa Nichols. She'll be right back with me after this break. Stay tuned. You're listening to Design Your Life. I'm Kevin Ross. To step inside my life.
As Unity Online Radio continues to expand its programming and outreach to the world, we count on the support of listeners like you. Please make your donation today. Go to www.unity.fm and click on Donate Now.
Warning. After listening to the Oneness program, Fridays at 11 a.m. Central on Unity Online Radio, people have reported feeling a profound stillness in body and mind, that continues well into the weekend. Others have found that their internal quiet is matched by a flow and ease in relationships and daily activities. Join Reverend Dr. Patricia Keel for the Oneness Program and experience the Oneness Blessing. Friday mornings, 11 a.m. Central Time on Unity Online Radio, the voice of an awakening world.
Did you know that most of us operate on autopilot and don't even realize it? In fact, psychologists suggest automatic behavior has become the rule of thumb these days. Jesse Harriet wants to talk with you about how to make the switch from barely thriving and functioning to living a fully functioning, conscious, and purposeful life. The all is mind, and so are you. Call in with your questions and comments for Jesse Live every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central Time on Living on Purpose, where we blend psychology and ancient wisdom. Only on Unity Online Radio, the voice of an awakening world.
Unity Online Radio is turning 5 this year, and we're throwing the biggest bash of all. A cruise to the Caribbean, November 10th through 17th, 2012. We'll celebrate in style aboard Holland America Line's Eurodam, with sunshine, fine dining, and a selection of island excursions at beautiful ports of call in the Eastern Caribbean. Plus, feed your spirit with music, message, and meditation. Your favorite host will be there, and we hope you join us too as we celebrate 5 years of spiritual programming at Unity Online Radio. For more information, visit www.unityonline.org.
We now return to Design Your Life with Reverend Kevin Ross and friends.
If I want to live my life, it's going to take some sacrifice.
Welcome back to Design Your Life. In a minute, we're going to talk more with my guest, the breakthrough specialist, Lisa Nichols. She's the author of the best-selling book, No Matter What. Been seen on Oprah, Larry King Live, and just all over the world making her difference. You probably remember her and her role in the movie The Secret. We're going to get right back to her in a moment. I want to remind you and invite you to host your Liberate Your Spirit viewing party. I want to acknowledge all of those of you who have started hosting parties with the new Liberate Your Spirit DVD. If you have not joined the conversation, get busy doing that. The way you can do it is to go to www.liberateyourspirit.org. It's the new DVD that was released by the same people that brought you The Secret, Beyond Words. And it includes a powerful series of interviews that I have with Michael Beckwith. You know him from The Secret and other the great Agape International Spiritual Center. Michael Beckwith, James Trapp, the head of Unity Worldwide Ministries, and Chris Michaels. And it is the conversation I believe that everybody needs to have in order to get unstuck once and for all. Discover the 5 freedoms that each of you can take. Go to liberateyourspirit.org to see the new trailer that's there, and then order your copy. And then once you do that, we will make sure to, if you're interested in hosting a Liberate Your Spirit viewing party, we'll make sure to send you the free facilitator's guide so that you can have an amazing time breaking through. I've been getting such wonderful feedback about it. So liberateyourspirit.org. Speaking of getting unstuck, we have with us Lisa Nichols, and she was just talking to us before we went to break about how we cure this gap between theory, practice, and manifestation. And she put it in the word action. You want to finish that up, Lisa?
Yeah, just in summation, just understanding that every time you say you want to get somewhere, the very first thing you do on the road is you set out your map, your navigation system. You go into your GPS and you find out where I'm starting and then what route do I need to take to get there. And you have points that indicate that you're on the right track. Same thing for any other goal. Get connected with your GPS, in this case, your God placement system, and find out what are my action steps I need to take. Because when you're in action, you're in movement. A lot of times if you say, I feel stuck, I want you to look at how much action are you in, or if you can redirect your action in another direction. So really having that movement is key and essential, Kevin. And I tell you, I start with all my students there. Let's get you in action. I work with 32 students starting 8 months ago. And all those students said that they wanted to create new revenue streams in their life, Kevin. And I said, can we agree to be in action? We made a code of conduct to be in action together. After 7 months of coaching them, action-based coaching, and all they're doing is staying in action. All they're doing is setting new goals, new milestones, and new action steps to get them to the milestone, to get them to the goal. That group of 32 people have generated now an additional new revenue, over $750,000 as a collective group. I promise you, your solution, right? Your solution is in the amount of action that you're taking. You're radical.
I love it. I love it. And you know what I also love in hearing that? I'm hearing one of your colleagues and mentors, Jack Canfield, who would say it's important to also keep score. And as you talk about, as you're able to report that result, you are showing that you're keeping score.
Absolutely. And that's what you hear me doing. Quantify your success. People want to minimize it. Oh, no, it doesn't. No, quantify your success. Look at what you've been up to and what you produce in the world as a result. Take score and not only take score, but tell somebody. And not in a braggadocious way, in the most humble, grateful way, because guess what? Good energy, success is contagious. If you have a huge win in your life, I want you to share with me so you can inspire me. We've gotten so used to shrinking ourselves so that we appear humble. Listen, you can appear humble and proud of what you're doing. I'm proud of what I'm up to in the world. I'm proud of what you're up to in the world. Tell me what you're up to. What I love about you and Doc Kevin is that we always go, what are you up to? What are you doing? And it's contagious. The energy is contagious.
I was having a conversation this morning with a dear friend of mine, and she was asking me about some of my close brother friends, Dr. David Montgomery and attorney Burvey Power, who we both went to Morehouse. All three of us went to Morehouse together, and how they're doing. I said, well, Dr. Montgomery is now the columnist in Ebony magazine. He's a MD, PhD, and he's the columnist in Ebony magazine, and he's now the face of this new heart medication, Pradaxa, and you see him all over the world. And then Attorney Power has a law firm downtown Chicago and all this. I said, some days I call them for inspiration, but some days I call them because I know I avoid, and I'll say some days I avoid calling them because I know if I call them, they're going to report on some great thing they're doing, and I'm going to have to get in action. But it does, it keeps me from, getting lax on my game. I can't fall back being around people like you.
Yeah, and you have to be careful because when you're a producer like you and I, and many people are listening, when you're a producer, you can get stuck in neutral because your neutral is faster than a lot of people's, fifth gear. And so you're right. You have to make sure and keep people around you that their momentum is moving, not so fast that they're missing out on life, but it's saying, I don't desire to be the same woman that I was in 2011. You don't desire to live on your bio. I tell people my bio is just what I did. You need to ask me, what am I doing? Hold me accountable to the bio that's in creation, not the one that I've already done.
Exactly. I was actually having a conversation on a couple of days ago about this very thing in terms of one's comfort level with sharing how good you're doing. And, I ended the conversation with saying down with false modesty of every kind because what's that?
I said, that sounds good.
Yeah, down with false modesty. There was, and I've got both hands up on this one, Lisa. I am guilty from time to time of withholding how good it is.
Right.
To be me. I am guilty from withholding this month alone. This month alone, this April. The DVD release with Liberate Your Spirit. We closed on a brand new house. I've got a baby being born next month. Oh gosh. And he's a son. He's going to be my firstborn son. I'm excited. New book in production on its way out. I was approached about doing a clothing line, and I mean, it is good and juicy, Lisa. I can't, and that's a piece of it. And I was having a discussion with someone whose energy was so low, if you will, that
you
I
felt
started
guilty sharing your high.
Yeah, and so I started contracting. I found myself going, better not. Let me just, But what I found is that it's important to have some friends around you that you can let it all hang out with. I'm talking about your dirt and your glory. You can just, put it all out there, and it's love, it's safe, it's, it's great.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then to understand that your shrinking doesn't serve anyone. So oftentimes we shrink or we minimize our greatness so that others won't feel insecure in our presence. When I learned that managing other people's perception of me and other people's esteem is none of my business, that's not my job. Now, I don't say that and say move into the gloat. Don't ever be there, but don't ever move into the shrinkage as well. And I understand when you say you have two hands up, brother. I've done that because, as you say in our first segment, you asked, when I break through the ceiling, how do I even handle that? Well, one of the ways I used to handle it whenever I had explosive growth was I kept it quiet. I mean, my family would get on me because I was in a 5-page spread, in essence, the largest spread ever for any expert in a major magazine, in Essence magazine, and I had a 5-page spread. Do you know I let the entire month go? I mean, that's a long time. The magazine's out for 30 days. I let the entire month come and go without telling my family I was in the magazine. They heard about it from other people, but I never made the announcement. Go see me here, family. And they said, why? And I said, I just didn't want to feel like I was gloating. They were frustrated at me. They said, I dare you rob us of the opportunity of serving you, of celebrating you. And so I finally got that when I celebrate myself out loud, I celebrate the God in me, and that can be contagious because someone looking at me may need to, in that moment, just borrow my celebration, borrow my light. Who am I to dim my light?
I love it. So let's help people get a little bit of what you have, and that's a no matter what mindset. What is a no matter what mindset?
Well, when I wrote the book, No Matter What, I put everything in it. I mean, I literally, first of all, I was blown away because the last time I took an English course, I got a fail. I'm going to be honest with you. And my English teacher told me, quote, unquote, Lisa, you have to be the weakest writer I've ever met in my entire life. And so for me to fast forward and to co-author a couple of Chicken Soup for the Soul books, and then to be a featured teacher in The Secret, and then to be the first woman to receive a 7-figure book deal for a self-help book. The last woman to receive 7 figures was Hillary Clinton. And I went through all these fear storms because I still had that chatter in my head that I wasn't a great writer. So when I dumped it in that book, I got to tell you, Kevin, I put everything in it. I talked about how do you build your bounce back muscle. If you're in a place right now where you need to build your bounce back muscle, I use the concept building your bounce back muscle because we know if we want to build our triceps or our biceps, we got to work them out. Well, a lot of times we feel like we don't have to work out our character to build our character, that we can just become forgiving. We can just get determination. We can just get perseverance. No, you don't just get those. You can't Google download perseverance. You can't Google download determination. You got to build that muscle, brother. You got to build that muscle, sister. How do you do that? And so in this book, no matter what, I share my biggest breakdowns. I kid you not, Kevin. I shared the things that I thought that I would take to my grave. And then I shared how I bounced back from it. And then I shared how did I build my no matter what muscle around it so I would never see that place again. As a matter of fact, I would never stand in the story. I would always stand on the story. So a no matter what mindset is becoming non-negotiable about that lifestyle that you know you deserve. And it teaches you everything I touch with no matter what. My workshops, my webinars, my seminars, my book, everything is how do you become non-negotiable? How do you become the force to be reckoned with in your life?
And I know that I can actually feel people on the edge of their seats saying, you know what, I want to pull out of this social inertia and grab me some no matter what mindset once and for all. I think that is, it's kind of like going back in that classroom where you got to fail. And this is really what I want to help people. That perhaps there was a student in there, the teacher asked a question, and there's someone in that classroom who knew the answer, but was afraid to raise their hands and break through that social density. And I'm wanting people who are listening, if you know it's you that Lisa is talking to today about establishing a no matter what, just raise both hands. If you're driving, be careful now, because we really can't be liable. But I want you to get both hands up and just accept it's your time. It is your time to start adopting a no matter what mindset. I'm going to be healthy no matter what. I'm going to get my family back no matter what. I'm going to fall in love and enjoy romance in my life no matter what. I want you to really own it for yourself today. That it's your turn. It's your turn. I think it's so critical, Lisa, particularly in this economic climate that people are so conscious about. What should they be conscious about over the current economic situation?
That this is if we're in an economic recession, we're not in a possibility recession. We're not in a faith recession. We're not in a perseverance recession. See, the challenge that's occurred is when we talk about this economic climate for the last 2-3 years, it's taken on the mindset. See, my spirit isn't in recession. My humanity, my human spirit isn't even available to be touched by the recession. That's the place where people have made the mistake, is they've allowed their bank accounts to dictate the strength of their human spirit. Those two are not connected. They are not connected in any form. Your faith, your perseverance, your humanity, your determination is not even available to go into a recession unless you give permission for it to. And so take back your power. Take back your faith. Take back your knowing. I know I serve an abundant God. I live in an abundant universe. Yes, I need to watch my pennies differently. Yes, employment has been difficult. Yes, I may need to refinance my house. Yes, I may need to move from my house to an apartment. All of that is temporary. Make sure you're not taking up permanent residence in a temporary situation. Don't do any lease option buys. Don't do any rent to own, and don't take out real estate in an economic downshift, in a mental downshift, in a spiritual downshift. Don't you dare. You keep moving through it.
You are not in a possibility recession. Oh, that
Not at
is the
all. Not at
word
all. Now
for
that
today.
might be money. Money is very different than
Woo!
possibility. Right.
Woo! I am.
You like that, don't you? That's
I'm
yours.
about
You
to have
like
a
that. That's yours.
Pentecostal breakdown right here. Oh God. Woo! Got me shouting happy. Okay, folks, you heard it. You have heard it. I want you to work with it. Be in that conversation. Am I letting myself get in a possibility recession? Or am I going to adopt a no matter what mindset? We're going to talk more with my guest, Lisa Nichols. She's the breakthrough specialist, and I know she's breaking you through this morning. She's breaking me through. We'll be right back after this message. Stay tuned.
I gotta see beyond my senses.
Hi, my name is Lynn Twist. I'm the author of The Soul of Money. If you're struggling right now with a financial crisis, I recommend going to www.unityfm and listening to our course about the soul of money and how to handle this in a way that brings out the deep spirituality that's available at this time. You know, a crisis is a terrible thing to waste.
Join author Lynn Twist for the blessing of the financial crisis. You'll learn new techniques to use the current economic situation to redefine your relationship with money. It's available now for immediate download at unity.fm in the video download section.
Just what does that dream mean? Ever wake up from a crazy dream and wonder what it meant? Have you had a recurring dream all your life and you just can't get it to stop? Get all your questions about dreams and dream interpretation answered by the leading expert in the field. Unity Online Radio is home to America's leading dream expert, Dr. Michael Lennox. And on Mondays at 2 p.m. Central, the Dream Doctor is definitely in. Tune in to Dream Interpretation with Dr. Michael Lennox, only on Unity Online Radio, the voice of an awakening world.
We now return to Design Your Life with Reverend Kevin Ross and friends.
Unity Online is listener-supported radio, and you make it possible for us to have this program and all of our multiple programs, including our new programs, be heard in 122 countries around the world, available on your smartphones, and in all of the different ways that we make it available online through iTunes and iPod. All of those ways that you're able to connect with us, you're helping us to do that, your generosity and commitment. And so we want to ask you to continue by going to unity.fm and clicking the donate button and give a generous contribution to keep this broadcast and all others live 365 on the air and available for each one of you. We are Unity Online, the voice of an awakening world. I know you all are wide awake this morning. I'm sure you have taken copious notes, and if you haven't done the happy dance yet, I'm sure you're going to do it before we finish, because we're talking with my guest, the dynamic international speaker and breakthrough specialist, Lisa Nichols, and she's talking to us about how to create a no matter what mindset. And I know that this word that you've received, certainly about having a possibility breakthrough and not living in a possibility recession, I know it served you, and I know you're going to do something powerful with it. Lisa, you are a single mother building a multi-million-dollar business. Talk to us about how you've been able to balance both worlds.
Absolutely. It's been a huge opportunity for me too. And I'm interviewed a lot about that, especially with women entrepreneur programs. And I really I'm a forecaster. I'm a planner. I plan, and I'm very spontaneous, but I plan the things that matter most to me. I don't leave them to chance. I don't leave my relationship with my son to chance. You know, I started this business when my son was 3 years old. He's now 17. And listening to my son on a radio interview once, someone said, Jelani, his name is Jelani, and said, Jelani, how is it that you and your mom are so close? Because he had previously shared, my mother's one of my closest friends, and I don't have the same relationship with her as many of my friends have with their parents. My mom and I are much, much closer. And the interviewer said, the radio host said, how is that possible when your mom travels so much? And my son, being the mathematical genius that he is, he goes, well, actually my mom's on the road 62% of the time each year. But when my mom's home, she makes the 38% home better than most people's 100% for us.
Wow.
And I looked at him, and my eyes filled with tears, and the radio host was silenced, and she finally said, she said, how is that? And my son said, my mom invests in quality time with me. So we don't live off quantity. We live off quality. When my mom's with me, my mom's very present to me. He said, my mom, when she's in the car, and so, now all these things I don't even know that he even keeps track of, right? It's just my intention. He said, when my mom and I are in the car and someone calls my mom, she tells them, I'm in the car with Jelani. We'll be out of the car in 20 minutes. Call me back then, but I like my car time to be with my son. Now, we're not necessarily talking, but in the event that he wants to talk, in the event that we see something funny down the street, I want to be available for that. Now, I didn't know that my 17-year-old was keeping track. And so I balance it by being very intentional about the relationship. I don't do makeup stuff. I don't buy my son. I've never bought my son souvenirs from all over the world because I don't want to build his expectation that the gift coming home is in a bag. The gift coming home is me, and we're going to have something great. But I just got home yesterday evening, and do you know, yesterday evening I cooked baked chicken, I cooked cabbage, I cooked, cornbread, I cooked some muffins for him. I took my time. I was tired. I wanted to lay down, but I know what he's missed is having a great home-cooked meal with his mom. I'd rather push myself 2 extra hours, go to the grocery store, and have a meal, and we're seasoning the food together, we're cooking together, we're eating together. And so I was very intentional, Kevin, and it's very important that if you're a busy person and you're about producing, that you have to carve out time, no extra. My son doesn't get my extra time. My son gets my allocated time.
I love that, and I think it's so important. I remember talking to a coaching client who said he wanted to produce $6 million in real estate, and at that point he hadn't hit that level yet. And I said to him, "Will you, if you did that, would you still be able to be a great father and husband to your family?" And there was a moment's pause. And after that momentary pause, he answered yes. And just like you talked about earlier about, okay, well, then how are we going to achieve that? We went through the establishment of allocating time and putting it in his plan. I know that, and I've worked with this myself. I make sure that I plan, just like everything else, family time and date night and all of that. When my assistant is taking me through my itinerary and the things that I have to deal with every day, that's one of the things that gets dealt with. Family time, date night like tonight, and that sort of thing. And it for me keeps me grounded, keeps me focused on the main thing, because you can have all the stuff and then at the end of the day, no one to share it with. I think it's pretty crummy. That's just me talking.
Well, and the reality is that if you're not serving yourself in the balance that you need, then you're serving others from a half-empty or bone-dry cup. And when you're serving others from a half-empty or bone-dry cup, your giving becomes a resentful giving, a painful giving. So when you have family time and me time and rejuvenation time. You're now serving others not from your cup, Kevin, but from your overflow.
Yes.
And we're us servers and givers. We're so used to sacrificial serving. And you know, God says, I want you to serve, but serve from your overflow. And so when I tell people, are you serving from your cup or are you serving from your saucer? Because you should be serving from your saucer all the time. That's the good stuff.
My cup runneth over and my saucer too.
serve from your saucer, not your cup, because then you'll always have enough. I'm giving you the stuff that I don't need anyway. I fill my cup up, but that's your responsibility to fill your cup up. And most servers make the mistake of thinking that it's their community's responsibility. It's your husband or your wife or your children's or your faith community. It's not their responsibility. It's your responsibility to fill your cup up so that you can serve from your overflow and serve from your saucer. And when you do that, when you're that responsible, life feels a whole lot better. That's that no matter what mindset. And really picking up, and those are techniques. You don't just adopt that, Kevin. Let me just say, when you want to take yourself to the next level, you have to get someone that can help you get there. The best thing I gave myself was a coach. You coach people. You counsel people. You pour into people's lives. The best thing I could do was to get a coach. Some of my coaches coach me through books. Some coach me through DVDs. Some coach me through videos. Some coach me. I've never met them, but they have had a profound impact on my life when I realized that I had taken myself as far as I could take myself and that I needed someone that was 10 steps ahead of me to take me to the next step. When I ate my slice of humble pie and drank my glass of skim milk and realized that I cannot be the biggest fish around me, I need someone teaching me, I began to get teachers through webinars, through DVDs, through books, and I let them pour into me, coach me, and help to transform my life. Remember, I was on government assistance. I didn't have money to feed my baby 17 years ago. I couldn't feed Jelani. I couldn't buy Jelani Pampers. I had Jelani wrapped in a towel for 2 days because I could not afford to buy him Pampers 17 years ago. 10 years later, when he was 10 years old, he's having lunch with the Queen of Swaziland. 7 years later from that, he's living his dreams. He's about to travel all over the world in the next 7 months on a culinary internship tour just so he can be in restaurants all over the world, just because he said he wanted to and Mommy could do it. I mean, when I tell you our life is drastically different, so how do you do that? You get a coach. You get someone who's going to pull you and support you and encourage you to the next level.
I love it. I love what you said. When I realized that I had taken myself as far as I could go.
There's a point at which you have taken yourself as far as you can take yourself. And I think that's a powerful insight for us to reflect on today. Have I taken myself as far as I can go? Have I hit my own personal limitation? And am I ready to reach up and reach my hand up to someone who's standing at a higher plane, and not better plane, just a higher plane in terms of what they've accomplished, what they've accomplished, and can support you with. I agree 1,000%. It is what has helped me, and I tell this story all the time about how my coaches have helped me to break out of how I see myself. The last time I talked to my coach, the last major piece of coaching she gave me was, Kevin, you now have to begin to see yourself as a community leader, and think about the difference that you will be in the city where you are and the community. And I've never thought of myself from that perspective. And of late, I've been getting awards from the state senate and all sorts of places that I would not have thought about, because she saw something extra about me in my evolution. Let me stop right there. I got the sign. Lisa, tell the people how they can connect with you after today. How can they get in touch with you and take on whatever you have to offer?
Well, I recommend you go to Lisa-Nichols, Nichols, Nichols, Lisa-Center-Nichols.com. And if you're interested in taking on the webinar, it's a 6-session webinar, powerful, me and you, in your living room, in your office, through the computer, then click on No Matter What webinar. It's my live event that I put online so you can have access to it. I made it available to you for little of nothing. I promise. I made it really, really doable. And let me know. Let me know that's what you got out of it. And if you're not ready for that, then just register for the newsletter so I can give you a free gift called Setting Your Champion Free. It's that thing I set in my mirror every day for the first 3 years of my career to help me turn my walk into a run and my run into a soar. And I would love to gift that to you as well.
You're the best. I love you. I just love you to pieces. And thanks so much for pouring into us today. I can't wait to announce when we're doing something again together. But for now, this has been juicy. It's been rich. Friends Thank you,
my
Lisa.
friend. I always enjoy being with you. You are a man of integrity, a man of consistency, a man of dedication, a man of perseverance, and most of all, a man that stays in action. Your loyalty to your community and to your service is always an honor to witness. I celebrate you and your wife and your new baby and your daughter, and I celebrate your huge launch, and I celebrate the book in formation and just who you choose to be in the world. I'm honored to walk shoulder to shoulder beside you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. You're the best. Okay, folks, we will reconnect next week with something else powerful to support you with breaking through and establishing a no-matter-what mindset. Until then, go forth and design a life worth living. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Design Your Life with Reverend Kevin Ross and friends. Join us every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern for more designer life distinctions and inspiration to empower you to design and live the life of your dreams. Design Your Life with Kevin Ross and friends, only on Unity FM, the voice of an awakening world. This program is brought to you by Kevin Ross Speaks, online at www.kevinrossspeaks.com. Electrifying speaking, training, and coaching for a transformed world.
Does music open your heart and bring you peace and joy? Experience the sacredness of sound with Ramdesh Kaur as we travel the world of mantra, Kundalini Yoga, and devotional music. Join us for a journey into spirit, Thursdays at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern on Spirit Voyage Radio with Ramdesh. Only on Unity Online Radio, the voice of an awakening world.
Inspiration only takes a moment. If you are able to safely turn your attention away from the demands of your activities, quiet your mind and affirm, there is a divine plan at work in my life. I now relax, let go, and let it unfold. Listen attentively, inwardly, without projecting any thoughts about what you think should happen or be experienced. Become as a child, trusting and receptive to the guidance of spirit within.
This meditative moment, adapted from Mary Kupferle's God Will See You Through, is brought to you by Unity.